Studios and another edition of the Weekly Video Recap. The March 31st show kicked off.
And welcome to Sunday morning, folks, in the Hard Rocket Sports Sunday morning football show for October the 4th, 2020. Guys, I hope you had a nice weekend. It's been a little on the cool side early, but got nicer in the afternoon. It's perfect football weather, and we hope that you'll be watching some games today. Some of you won't. I won't be watching much other than my Giants, and everybody has their thing now. But I hope you're enjoying your Sunday and your weekend, and looking forward to another hopefully nice weather week. Although we all have to go to work tomorrow, well, some of us do. So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and let's talk a little football for about an hour. Maybe I'll be joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Jeff Towinski, and maybe I won't. Man works on Sunday, so we don't want him to get in any trouble. So, lots of, obviously, things going on in the NFL. Cam Newton testing positive that game. Pats Chiefs, which should have been let's see, what was that going to be? A 4:25 CBS game, has now been postponed to at least Monday or Tuesday, but Newton's out. So what happens now? Who's the quarterback? Is it Stintham? Is it Hoyer? I think if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm pretty sure he's hoping this game gets postponed for a while. But we'll see how that works out for Bill. So we'll still break that one down. Obviously, the Titans-Steelers game has been postponed, I think, to October 25th. So that game's off the schedule. Let's see, lots of stuff. I think let's talk about the Jets real fast and their Thursday night loss. This is a team that's bad. Now, I saw a lot of signs of life from Sam Darnold. Made a really great run. We played better. Listen, they still lost They still lost that game to a guy who, for a Broncos team that was bad, led by a quarterback, Brett Rippon, who I think that was like his ninth. I think it was obviously his first start. The guy who's not taking the heat that really needs to take the heat right now is Greg Williams. I know he lost. They traded Adams and Mosley opted out, but you're Greg Williams. He's the guy who's pats himself on the back. He's the guy. And I'll tell you flat out, no, I did not order the guitar, Jeff. Thank God I fell asleep, but I am not going to order the guitar. So it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But, Greg Williams needs to take the heat, guys. I'm sorry. I'll put Gase's head on the chopping block in a heartbeat. But, he needs to be accountable. Here's a guy who pats himself on the back as, the best defensive coordinator in the league. And, his side of the ball has not done the job. You give up lots of points to Brett Rippon, and that team, he needs to step up and be accountable. They show no imagination out there. They did a terrible job. They let them back in the game, and when they needed to make stops, they didn't. So, we'll definitely talk about that on Thursday's show. I don't think if Jeff agrees with me, but as Gase is terrible, I'll tell you flat out that Jet team is woeful. To lose that game is horrendous. I will tell you that I saw some signs of life in what I watched and the highlights from Sam Darnold, who has really no help out there whatsoever. But I will tell you that defense is atrocious. That kid went up and down the field on them, and I'm sorry, that's just terrible. So Greg Williams has to be held accountable, and we'll get to that on Thursday night. The NFC East is fighting, guys. They're fighting for who's going to have the number one pick in the draft, because that is the absolute. If they didn't play each other, I don't think they'd win a game. The Cowboys are extremely overrated. The Eagles are horrendous. No offensive line. Wentz is soft. I think the Peterson experiment is done, but we'll see. The Redskins are still trying to figure out if Haskins is their quarterback, who easily, with a couple of bad picks early in this game or bad plays, you could see Alex Smith in this game real quick, and I wouldn't doubt it. And they may be a better team for it. But I think they need to figure out whether Haskins is their guy or not. And listen, Rivera's got no skin in the game when it comes to Haskins. He was there when he got there. And I said it when the draft was out there. Haskins wanted to be a Giant, and I didn't want him to be. I absolutely positively did not want Haskins to be a Giant, and I'm glad he's not. Whether Daniel Jones works out or not, I knew that Haskins was a product of that system for that team. So I'm glad he didn't there. So, but today you could see Alex Smith pretty early today, if that falls apart. But that, and then the Giants. Who are the Giants? First 2 weeks, there were signs of life. I don't know about that, Jeff. I'm not sure about that. I think I agree with you. And in the league where the backups, most teams you can't even lay out who the backup quarterbacks are. Alex Smith, if he's healthy, is a guy who's got a resume, not a great resume, but a great resume, but a resume. So there's a chance. And the Giants, listen, man. First 2 weeks, I gave them more victories. Last week they were abysmal. They put together nothing, and they. I'm not expecting much today. I got to be honest with you. Going out to the West Coast, playing a Rams team. Now, again, I'm not high on the Rams. Can the Giants sneak in? Of course. I can put that on anybody. But I'm not expecting big things out of the Giants. I mean, I think we're looking at 0-4. I'll give you my stuff later on in the show on the Giants. But the NFC East is the worst division in football. I have a hard time finding another one at this point. That doesn't mean it can't change, but we start to play. Giants will be playing the Cowboys next week. So, but the Cowboys aren't overrated. They're terrible on defense. They're terrible. Jeff, I'm not going to argue that. It could be. I'm not telling you that the Rams won't beat the Giants by double digits. I have no reason to argue that point right now. I am expecting a better showing. I'm hoping we're going to get a Giant team that we saw against the Bears that just ran out of time. They started to put it together. I think this team has been pissed off, and I think the coach has been laying into them. I'll look for more. But we'll get to the Giants later. Again, we'll talk a little. Like I said, we're talking a little bit about the early start of the season. And guys, listen, this baseball managed to get through. Basketball put everybody in a bubble, same as hockey. Football, 16 members of the Titans have tested positive. Not all players, some front office or some of their equipment staff and training corps. Newton gets tested for positive. I mean, the NFL players have to decide whether they want to play football or not this year. And there's only so much you could do with the NFL season. I mean, listen, the NFL's getting their wish. They're talking about playing the Saints-Chiefs game on Tuesday. I mean, you could have football games every day of the week trying to make up these things. Now, again, the NFL plays Sunday and then Thursday, so you can have a cancel on a cancel game on Sunday and then play it on Wednesday, not Wednesday. But I don't get the thought if these guys. Hey, Rose, how are you? I don't get how the NFL can get this done. I honestly mean that. Short of putting these guys in a bubble at home, where these guys can go to and from the practice field and hold them accountable. I think if these guys test positive at this point, you should ban them for the season. Honestly, I mean that. Or suspend them for 4 games. It obviously means they're not doing what they're supposed to. We had a thing this week where a whole bunch of Raiders were at a charity event, no masks. Now, again, guys, I don't want to preach, because I'm the first guy in public. I don't wear a mask. I wear a mask where I'm forced to wear a mask. So I'll be the first guy to say, but I'm not playing in the NFL. Okay, I'm not playing Major League Baseball. I should have been, but that's a whole different story from years past. Anyway, I'm kidding. These guys have a duty to their teammates and the league to refrain from being out in public in places that could get them in trouble. And to me, you got to hold them accountable. To me, the Titans and the Steelers, if the Steelers are clean, then they should probably get a forfeit. Teach you guys. Now, again, here's the rough part. If you're the Titans and you quarter from another team during a game, now that's tough. Like, how do you figure that out is the question. But this could get ugly, guys. We could be deciding. Teams could be missing a game or two at the end of the year, and you go by winning percentage, and it's going to be a tough thing to see happen. But we're obviously going to wait and see how it plays out. So Steelers, Titans postponed to the 25th of October, and the Chiefs Pats game has been postponed. I think the Saints game has been saved. Saints Lions saved. I think that's going to get played. So we'll see what happens, guys. But let's get to the league a little bit. Let's go through some of the games and for week number 4 in the NFL. And I hope you. Why are they? Rose, you're the best. I love Rose. Oh boy, I mean, I got some funny cousins, but nobody's funnier than Rose. Rose, you're the best. So let's get to the NFL and have some fun with these games. I hope you guys come back on Thursday nights when Jeff and I are together and we do the regular Hard Rocket Sports Show. Big guest this week, Ron Keel from the band Keel, and also obviously his solo stuff. Will join Jeff and myself. Rafael Esparza from my bookie comes back for his bi-weekly spot on the show. He's the unofficial third co-host of the show, so we'll have Rafael back next Thursday night along with Ron Keel. And Matt Salici will join us to break down the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. Matt's a good friend, and a big Cowboys fan, so Matt will be joining us probably right after Rafael, about 8:30. Although I know that's into the football game, so I don't know. We might have to get Matt on real early this time, but we'll figure all that out. So let's get to it. First game up on my board is Seahawks-Dolphins, 1 p.m. on Fox. Seahawks 3-0 against the 1-2 Dolphins, who showed a little bit of signs of life last week. Favored by 6 are the Seahawks. I like. Okay, let's go. This comes across as a blowout, and I'll tell you why. Because to me, this could be a trap game. What I mean by a trap game. All right, Rose. Let me do this for Rose. Rose says she doesn't understand why they run after one ball. They make enough money to buy their own. They can run it where they want. Yes, Rose, that's true. They do have enough money, the league and the players, to buy multiple footballs. So I got it. You got it, Rose. I love Rose. Again, this could be a trap game, and what a trap game means is a game that you're overlooking, a game that you're moving past before it even plays. And of course, if you're the Seahawks, you're 3-0. You're playing the you're looking past this game for the Vikings. You have a Viking at home next week against the Vikings. A team again 0-3 at this point, but you have the ability. They have the ability to win any week, so you could be overlooking. You're welcome, Rose. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Jeff. Fans, now they're awesome home fans this week for the Dolphins. Seattle's defense is terrible, 430 yards a game. That is terrible. The Dolphins, listen, they have nothing to play for. They haven't played since the Thursday night game against the Jaguars, which was a win. They're healthy. The Seahawks are not. Yeah, I do believe the Seahawks win this game. I want to tell you that I think the Dolphins will cover. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win, but the Dolphins to cover. It's a 6-point. I think this may be one of those games where Seattle's just trying to get off the field. So let's see how it plays out. Fitzmagic maybe does his thing. Would not surprise me if there was a letdown by the Seahawks. But I'm going to take the Seahawks to win, but not to cover. Pats Chiefs. I think I'm going to hold off on this. I don't think this game is going to get played. Bills Raiders. Bills 3-0 at the Raiders 2-1, 425 on CBS. I like the Raiders to win this outright. The Bills are favored by 3 points. Simple. I think the Bills are due for a loss, and I think that they're a team that not a dominant team. I think this is a game where they're going out to Vegas, and anytime you're on the road, I think it's different now, especially in today's NFL. So I'm going to take the Raiders in this one, straight out and outright, and we'll see how that game plays out. But that's a 425 game out on the West Coast on CBS. 2-1 Colts at the Bears. Interesting football game. You know, first thing I disagree, Jeff. I think this is a Raiders win. Colts at the Bears, favored by 2.5 are the Colts, and I think they win. This Bear team, 2 miracle wins, and Giants ran out of time. So I'm taking the Colts in this one. They played a little bit better. I'm not a big believer in the Bears. I have to be honest with you. I'm not a huge believer in the Bears this year. Patriots, Rose, have their quarterback has tested positive for the coronavirus, so the game has been postponed until they do more testing. Right now, they're saying they're going to play the game on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, but we'll see. I'm not sure how that game's going to get played. If it gets played, Patriots are 2-1 at the Chiefs, 3-0. Chiefs also had one of their backup quarterback has tested positive. That's supposed to be a 425 on CBS. Chiefs favored by 7. And what if the line changes I wonder how the line changes for that game with no Cam Newton. I mean, it's Chiefs by 7 now at home. That could be double digits without Cam Newton. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Yes, Jeff. I believe you're right. Colts win in this one. Bears could be there. Okay, so let's move on in the sheets again, guys. Hard Rocket Sports Sunday Morning Football Show. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday morning. Hope you're gonna have you'll have your sauce today. I'm going over to Mom's for a little after birthday dinner with my kids and my parents and have some fun. So I hope you guys will have a good day today. Again, we got the Cowboys at home to the Browns. Cowboys 1-2 to home to the Browns, 2-1, 1 p.m. on Fox. Cowboys favored by 5. Interesting game here. Cowboys are horrendous on defense, but lighting it up on offense. And this is a Browns team that does not score a lot of points. 30 back-to-back are the most they've had in I think it's 4 or 5 years. I think the Browns are going to have a tough time. I think they're going to have a tough time keeping up with the Cowboys. I'm not a big believer in the Cowboys, but I think they get to 2-2. Cowboys win. The cover, I think the Cowboys run away with this one. I'm not. This Cowboy team is not good, but neither are the Browns. I disagree, Jeff. I don't see the Browns winning this game. They would have to. It would be a miracle. So I'm taking the Cowboys. Jeff's got the Browns. Saints at the Lions, 1 p.m. on Fox. I'm picking the Lions in this game, and I'll tell you why. I've not been impressed by this team. Now, listen, the Lions don't win consistently. I don't think this team is any good, but I'm not impressed by the Saints. No Michael Thomas this week. At least that's what it was. Saints have given up 71 points in the past 2 games, and I think the Lions will find a way to win. I think this Lions team will beat the Saints. Yes, I know, Jeff. I know you're taking your beloved Drew Brees and the Saints, but I'm not buying it. I'm going to pick the Lions to win this game outright. Saints favored by 4. If this was home, again, people pick your teams to win at home. Like, who cares? There's nobody in the stands. I think there's a few thousand people in Miami today watching the game. Short of that, I'm gonna take the Lions today for some fun. I think the Lions have a chance. This is an important game for both teams. And again, it's week 4. Beating the Lions is not a big deal, but having to win and look better if you're the Saints is important. They need to start playing well, and Drew Brees is starting to show his age, and the Lions need to build. And honestly, Matt Patricia's fighting for his job. I mean, they have to put together something this year, otherwise they're in a tough spot here. Bucks at home to the Chargers. Bucks home to the Chargers. Bucks 2-1. Chargers 1-2. 1 p.m. game on CBS, and the Bucks are favored by 7. Again, fans in the stands for Tom Brady. The Bucks continue to grow. Justin Herbert versus Tom Brady. With Tyrod Taylor still out. Tom Brady. The old lion and the new. This kid's look good, Herbert. I have to tell you. He could keep him close. I mean, no Chris Godwin for the Bucks, but their defense is top 10. I got to tell you, I'm picking the Bucks to win this. It won't surprise me if the Chargers hang in there. I think there's enough there, but I'm going to take the Bucks to win and cover. So if you're out there, Tampa Bay, yes, Jeff, I know he's taking the Bucks also. The winner Rose. The winner will be the team with the highest score. You're right on top of things. You're right in the Florio family, on top of it all. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, the half men will be happy. Let's move on to the Ravens, 2-1 at the Redskins, 1-2. Ravens are favored by 13, and you got to take the Ravens in this one. I think they're coming off a very bad loss. They're going to look to pound the Redskins, who could not stop anybody running the ball last week. Again, I think you saw what Lamar Jackson is. If he plays an inferior team and can get outside the pocket and run the football and throw the ball off the run, he's fine. If you force him to try to be a pocket quarterback, if you take away his legs, that he can lose it. He cannot beat the Chiefs. So until further notice, I'm downgrading the Ravens. But yes, the Ravens. Did the half man pop in someplace? I didn't see the half man anywhere. Did he? I didn't see him on this. Jeff's saying hello to him, so maybe he's out there somewhere. But anyway, I'm taking the Ravens in this game to win. They'll cover. I think this is a lopsided game, and again, I think this is a game where you could absolutely positively see Alex Smith at some point if Dwayne Haskins falters even the smallest bit. I think they're itching to get wins. versus taking his kid and developing him. I think nobody believes in Dwayne Haskins, and certainly it looks like Ron Rivera doesn't. So we'll see how fast he gets to that. Hard Rock and Sports Sunday Morning Football Show. Tom by himself. Jeff only participating online here. We love having Jeff on the show, but Sundays are tough for him. And hopefully there'll be a few more along the way. And we get to the playoffs. Maybe we'll do this live someplace. I got some stuff in the works. We'll see what happens. Okay, we got the Cardinals 2-1 at the Panthers 1-2. The Cards are favored by 3 points. Listen, Cards are an improved team. Still not a great team. Kyler Murray, 3 picks last week. Not a great week for Kyler and the Cards, and a loss to the lowly Lions. Panthers 1-2, still with no McCaffrey. I'm gonna take the Cards in this one. I'll be shocked. Even though they're at home again, what's home mean at this point? I think the Cardinals rebound and do enough to win this game. It's only 3. I'll take the Cardinals to win and to cover. Jeff's at work today, Rose, so he can't be part of it. He's just kind of throwing some stuff in there as I go here. We're gonna take this show quick today since I have some plans, but let's run through it again. Again, Vikings at the Texans. The Texans are favored by 5 over the Vikings. 0-3 both teams. I keep seeing online. Everybody keeps saying, "No, the Texans. The Texans aren't that bad." You're 0-3. You're 0-3. I want to say that about the Giants. The Giants aren't bad. They're 0-3. You're bad until you win games. There are no moral victories in football or in any sport. So I'm telling you, these are 2 bad teams. Am I surprised? Yes, I'm surprised that both these teams are 0-3. 2-1, 1-2s maybe, for one of them. But, I think both coaches and both quarterbacks are on the hot seat. And I mean that. I think there's some doubt. Bill O'Brien's been under the hot seat for a while now. O'Brien's been on the hot seat for a while, and I think that the other side with Minnesota, I think those guys, have faltered the last few years, and I think there's some, there's definitely some issues there. So we'll see how that plays out for both teams. But I'm picking I'm going to take the Texans in this game. They're at home. I think they'll cover. There's enough there on their defense that will keep this game close, and I think the Texans win this one outright on this Sunday. I know, Jeff, who cares who wins, but we got to report on it because it's the NFL, and that's what we do. I can, Rose. I can't believe me. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to find something on my phone here. Some information. Anyway, let's see. Next game up, Eagles at the Niners. This is a Sunday night game, which can't please anybody. These should have been 2 good teams. They're not. Still Mullins in there for Garoppolo. The Niners are favored by 7. I like the Niners in this game to win outright. Again, a coach and a quarterback on the hot seat. People all over in Philadelphia are questioning Wentz's heart. I got to tell you, it ain't going to take much. They're going to be starting to talk about where's Jalen Hurts, although I'm not the hugest Jalen Hurts fan. But we'll see how that plays out. Wentz is soft, and the offense is hurting. I mean, their offensive is depleted. And I don't see them going out to San Francisco and winning this game. So I'm going to take the Niners by 7. Let's call it what it is. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I think the Niners showed me something last week. Half their team out, and they dismantled the Giants. Now, again, Giants have not played well, but they haven't played badly up to that game. So I think the Niners are just a good football team in a tough division, though. So they'll have a tough time inside their own division, but they're going to feast on the East. And they have so far this year. Bengals, Jags at the Bengals. Bengals are home 0-2-1 to the Jags 1-2, 1 p.m. on CBS. Burrow's, I tell you what, Joe Burrow has impressed me. They haven't won yet, but Joe Burrow's played well, and I think that's a guy who doesn't like to lose, and then who does, but there's the differences. And I think Joe Burrow will make this team better. It'll be a couple of years, but this team will fight for that division. And I like the Bengals today. I like the Bengals to win this game outright at home, and Joe Burrow get his first win. I don't see anything to stop them on the Jags end other than Gardner the mustache. So we'll see. But I'm taking the Jags today by 1 p.m. at 1 p.m. on Fox on CBS. Falcons Packers, the Monday night game. I never expected the Pack to be. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I never expected the Packers to be this good this year. I got to be honest with you. I was kind of picking the Vikings to win this division, maybe Chicago. No, I'm going to Mom's today. So, Rose, I ain't got to do any cooking today. So, I'm going to Mom's. Again, Hard Rocket Sports Sunday Morning Football Show. Tom Malone, Jeff at work, although he's popping in here giving you his thoughts if you check the Packers section. But will Dan Quinn be allowed on the charter flight home? If they get smoked, if they come out of there, get completely embarrassed on Monday night, which is very possible, will they allow Dan Quinn on the flight home? Not sure. Aaron Rodgers, I think, can you slow them down? I don't think so. And they're heading into a bye week. So I think they're going to come out there, they're going to give it all, and they're going to pound this team and send the message to the rest of the conference and their division. I like the Packers in this big cover double digits. Falcons are demoralized. 2 back-to-back 20-point come from behind losses. And they're facing, to me, an obviously motivated Aaron Rodgers. I think the drafting of the kid, Julian Love, not Julian Love, what's his name? Julian. Oh boy, the kid they took in the first round for a quarterback as his possible replacement, I think has motivated Rodgers this year. Sorry, I can't think of his name, but I think the Falcons get crushed and moved on. And listen, I ran through it today. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the Giants and the Rams, and we're gonna call it a day. I know it's supposed to be an hour, but I got some stuff to do today, and Jeff's not with me, so I'm gonna call it there after I give you my Giants Rams. I think I went through all the games. Looks like it. Pats, Chiefs, Bills, Raiders, Colts, Bears. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Giants. Listen, the Giants are desperate. They need to win. No more moral victories. They can't come out and lose this on the last play of the game. Either way, the Giants need to win. This team needs to learn how to win a football game. And I think it starts with their coach and their quarterback. While I love Danny Jones I think he's definitely the Giant quarterback of the future. You got to stop turning the ball over. But bottom line is, you say, okay, he's learning, and you see the bad plays. Now listen, it took Eli 4 years. Eli got drafted in 2004, and he was a turnover bad quarterback or an average quarterback. He had his moments. Until the playoffs in the Super Bowl year of 2007. It took them 4 years to get there. It could do the same here. The difference was the Giants had a better team around Eli then. The offensive line was coming together. They had a good defense. Strahan was there. This was, they had that makings of a good young football team. They're not going to fire Gettleman, Jeff. Thank you, Rose. Thank you so much. My cousin Rose stopping in. Jeff, I don't agree with you. I think Gettleman's done a nice job, but you're never going to listen to me. Yeah, I think the Rams are a bit overrated, or are they rejuvenated? I'm not sure yet. So let's see how that plays out today. I think the Rams will, until I see differently, the Rams should win this game. I think the Giants have not stopped anybody, gotten anybody off the field. You can leave your punter home if you're playing the Giants, because the Giants can't get off the field on third down. The only time they're getting off the field is when the other team scores, and that's bad. And that's on Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham has got to do a better job of finding a way. Jeff, he will not be released this season then. Patrick Graham has got to find a way to get off the field. The Giants were on the field for 77 plays last week. You don't win football games being on the field defensively for 77 games. So that's it. That's the bottom line. The Giants have to, it can't be a trap game. They could be looking forward to the Skins next week, but I would be feasting on the Skins too. But no, the Giants have to go out there and play football. Jones is not terrible. Jones has been bad at times, and he's made a lot of bad mistakes, but Jones is not terrible. Not even close. Listen, I can't pick this. I have to pick it. I'll say the Rams. They're favored by 13. I think the Giants cover. I don't think they'll be slaughtered. I think you'll get a better showing. Again, if they make it close and they lose in the last play or the last series of the game, you can call it a moral victory, but we need to stop having moral victories. So I'll take the Giants today to cover, not to win. I'll be shocked if they win. This is a 4:25 game on Fox here in New York, so make sure you check that game out. Should be lots of stuff. There should be a lot of good games on today, guys. I mean, I didn't check the TV schedule, see which ones are here on the local. So, but I'm assuming that the Pats Chiefs game, which would have been the 4 o'clock CBS game, is no longer that game. So you have to check your local listings. Yes, you heard for the old Geno Smith days, guys. Yeah, Jeff's all over it. You know, a man whose ability as a football prognosticator is only overshadowed by his beard. He's just a top-notch guy out there. Rams by 20. Yes, Jeff. Rams by 20. No, there's no way in the world Rams win by 20 today. Giants will keep it to 10 or 5 or less. Giants will keep it to 10 points or less today. So if you're out there and you're betting, take the Giants. I give you that as my best bet pick. I did take the Bengals to win this week as my pick on the show. I think Joe Burrow gets his first W. Other interesting games today. I think check out the Dolphin game. I think that's a really interesting football game. Obviously, the Cowboys Browns game should be an interesting football game. Seahawks, I think that's a trap game. I think they're just looking past this Dolphin team. It'd be interesting if we get games Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this week, and come back on Thursday. We'd have football, 5 days this week. And let me tell you something. I think that's what the NFL wants. I think the NFL would be happy if they had a game basically every night of the week. I don't like the Thursday night games. I think they're usually bad football games. The one we had this week was a decent game with the Jets got beat by a guy who, I think he was, bagging groceries before the season started, but it probably will be after. Yes, Gase must go. I can't argue that point. But I'm telling you, Jeff, we're going to talk about Thursday, but your boy Greg Williams has been the disaster. His defense is terrible. So it's time to really start holding these coaches their feet to the fire. But listen, what could you say about the Jets and Giants? Until they start to prove that they can win, we can't take them seriously. But we'll see it on Thursday night. We'll Jeff and I will be together hopefully, and we got Ron Keel again. Hopefully Matt Salitri will join us to break down the first 4 games, and of course our good friend Rafael Esparza from mybookie.ag. We'll stop by. If you're going to bet today, guys, go to mybookie.ag. Lay your bets down with those guys. They're professional. There's so many great prop bets. So do yourself a favor and go to mybookie.ag to place all your. Oh no, here he comes. I'm just about getting off the air, and here he pops up. Yes, Jeff.
I can't let you go until I say a couple things.
Okay, I was trying to keep you from doing this, but go ahead.
Okay, 1. The Jets did nothing on Thursday. They suck.
I agree.
Okay, they played an equally bad team. They didn't show any signs of life. They didn't do anything to help their cause. The only thing they did was once again play well enough to prevent Adam Gase from being fired immediately. That's what happened on Thursday night. Okay. The Rams will beat the Giants well into double digits, probably close to 20 points. Daniel Jones is a farce and is probably on par with Haskins. Okay. And on top of it, Gettleman must go. Nothing is going to happen on the other side of the hallway until Gettleman gets fucking canned. And the best thing you should have done last night was listen to me and buy that fucking guitar.
Your narrative's completely off all the way around.
It's not. The Jets are 0-3 on their way to 0-17. Okay,
That's possible. That's possible.
Okay. That's one thing. The Giants, just to show you how bad the Giants are, the New York Giants is so bad that they're going to finish 0-16 too, and aren't going to be able to get the first pick in the draft. That's how bad the Giants are, because the Jets are even worse. Okay, then they're going to fire Gettleman after they go like 10-29 or 10-37, whatever it is, and then next year they'll win 7 games. You watch. You fire Gettleman, I guarantee you next year you win 7 games.
Is that it? That's all you got? It's a weekly broken record.
What?
It's a weekly broken record.
No, I am telling you what to do to fix the Giants.
I'm telling you.
You don't want to hear it.
I don't. I think this team can win and will win.
This team ain't going to win. It's not going to win. It's not going to win. Your hat is on too tight. That's what it is. I don't care what the logo is. It's just on too tight.
Listen, it's not too tight. I see improvement on this team. I want to see today. Listen, I might join you on the bandwagon Thursday.
What improvement have you seen?
I have seen the defense is better. I think the defense has played much better.
All right, hold, wait, hold. You just happened to get me at the right time because I'm sitting in front of a fucking computer. Hold on one
Yo,
second.
I was going to end the show right here. I have
Don't
things.
worry about it. You got a few minutes. Don't worry about it. I'll let you know when you can go. We're ripping on the Giants. Right now, the Giants are 0-3 with a point differential of 41. They've scored 39 points, the least amount of points in their division, by the way. But they've given up 79 points, which is the least amount of points given up in their division. I'll give them that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them that much. But let's compare them real quick to the New York Jets. Okay? The Jets have scored 65. The Jets have outscored the Giants? Oh, my God. I can't believe that. But the Jets have given up 131 points for a point differential of 66. So that there's no way, as bad as the Giants are, there's no way they're getting the first pick. They're not going to tank for Trevor.
Listen,
They could get
my team doesn't tank. My team has shown.
I know your team just sucks. They just get their
we didn't
ass
suck
kicked.
for Sam, and we're not going to tank for Trevor. We're going to go out there and play football. That's all. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
They're just awful. They're a bad team.
I didn't say they weren't. I said this Giant team is bad until they win games. They are a bad team. I see signs of life, but we didn't lose to Brett Rippon and the Broncos. And all I said was I saw signs of life from Sam Darnold, not enough. And Greg Williams needs to has to have his feet held to the fire. His team has given up 130 points already. That's 4 games in.
You can't make any excuses for anybody. Okay?
Exactly.
They're supposed to get the best out of their team, but Greg Williams doesn't have anybody on this team. Okay, one guy sat out for COVID. They traded the other guy. Okay, they traded Jamal Adams. Mosley sat out because of COVID. Okay, that's one thing. Second, they need to fire Gase. Let Williams run the team for the rest of the year. What's the difference? They got to make a coaching change. This is just going to make a stale culture in the Jets locker room. You watch. It's going to make it that nothing's going to happen. They're going to be awful.
Listen, I don't think it matters. You can keep the same coaching staff. You can fire Gase and move Williams up and keep the rest of the guys in the spot. It's not going to make this team any better. I'm not a big fan of firing guys in the middle of a season. I'm not. It just I don't think it pays unless there's unless there's a hate for the coach in that locker room, which I don't see at this point. But
no, listen.
Other than that, no.
You need to make this change. And the reason you need to make this change is because he's ruining what's left of Sam Darnold. Adam Gase. I'm talking about the Jets now.
Yeah.
He's ruining what's left of Sam Darnold. Okay, that's one thing. At this point in time, Sam Darnold should be nothing more than trade bait. You're well on your way to getting the first pick.
Very possible.
The Jets. Okay, that's one thing. Second of all, it doesn't matter. You have to show this team that you're going to hold people accountable. What better way to do that than to ask the coach in the middle of the season? Because he's not doing anything to help. Okay? You need to know who's going to play, who gave up on it, and what you're going to be able to have to do come January, February, and March when free agency starts and you start getting rid of guys. You need to know what direction you're going in. That's all there is to it. You can't do it any other way. You can't. You just can't.
Again, listen, Jeff, I won't argue. I mean, I'm not telling you that keeping Gase will make this team win 5 games. I'm not telling you that getting rid of him, they won't win more or less games. I just, to me, firing a coach in the middle of the season doesn't do much for a team. I think it just sends them into more turmoil. And it's not like Greg Williams is going to be your future. If you thought, to me, if you had your future coach on your staff, like if there was a guy in your staff, you said he's the heir apparent, or that's the kind of guy I would go to next. I'd say, okay, maybe bring the guy in, let him run the team for you. But there's nobody on the staff that's going to take over the Jets next year.
No, there's nobody on the staff that's going to take over the Jets next year. But you know what? You need to see what you can do, how these people respond. Let's just say that you fire Gase, you throw Greg Williams in charge for the next 12 to 13 games, whatever it is they got left in the season. Okay? Then you're going to see, is he going to be a defensive coordinator next year? Does he at least get considered for that position? What did he do? Did he do anything? Right now, Gase, he's on his way out the door. You know it. He knows.
Yeah, you got to think that. You're 0-4 and you're headed to. You just lost to to me, one of the worst teams in the league.
So what is the point of keeping him if you already know that he ain't going to be here next year?
Again, I'm not arguing. Again, Jeff, I won't argue your point. I think it's valid. I'm not a big believer, and I'm thinking. And again, listen, let's not say if the defense on this Jet team was top 5 in the league, you go okay, maybe the whole team responds to them, but they're giving up 30 points a game. That's terrible.
They've given up 100 and something points. What I tell you was
130 some points.
Yeah, 131 points. It's a lot of points. You can't win that way.
Nope.
But you can't build on that either.
Nope.
There's nothing to build on. You need to change the narrative there. That's all there is to it. You need to do it. If you don't do it, you're not going to have anything. Nothing. So, yeah, you have to have something going for them. It's a must.
Well, I'm not arguing. It would not shock me. It would not bother me if Gase got fired. I think he deserves it. I think at this point he's done nothing to make that team better. At some point, I think Joe Douglas has to be on the clock. Not that I want to see him fired because I think it's way too premature. But Joe Douglas is, his feet are to the fire right now.
Not even close.
Disagree.
I could say next year at this time we can have this conversation.
No, again, I'm not telling you he's got to be fired. Nor should he be fired. What I'm saying is, it's no longer, not your team. This is your team. So you are what, like you like to say to me all the time, you are what your record says you are. So next season, when that season starts, Joe Douglas has got to put a better team together with the right coach, and he needs to not start off 0-4.
Well, listen. You can't argue any of that fact, okay? A lot of the stuff you brought up is fact, but the reason I say you got to remember he had one draft and one free agency period. There's nobody that's building up a team.
I agree
quickly.
I agree.
NFL, okay,
I agree.
Last year he missed out on free agency. He missed out on the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then he came in when all of that. The team was pretty much set at that point in time. Now, does it look good for him so far? No, not really. Nope. I mean, you drafted a quarterback that needs work. You only drafted one wide receiver. There's a lot of things that could have been done, should have been done, that weren't done. Mm-hmm. And Joe Douglas didn't do them. That's why I say next year at this time, we can have that conversation about Joe Douglas all you like, because it'll probably be warranted at that point in time if the Jets aren't performing. Somebody's got to pay for it. Right now, I just can't see when you gave him one shot at the draft and one shot at free agency, I can't see holding him accountable right now at this point in time.
No, again,
next year at this time, we'll be to come back and revisit it.
Yeah, no, again, when I say hold his feet to the fire, it's not that I want to see him fired or deserves to be fired. It's just at some point he's got to start taking hits when these guys don't play well. So,
of course,
when Mims is his guy, can't get on the field. You got to be held accountable for that. The offensive line is not playing well. You got to be held accountable for that. This is his offensive line. So, again, if there was a little bit of improvement, you go, okay, he made him a little bit better. There's no improvement. Now, I also want to say that having no offseason hurt everybody. And I'll give same thing here.
If every team in the league was 2-2 or 1-3, and there was only a couple teams that had winning records, I'd say, okay, I could go along with that. But there's plenty of teams that are 3-0 at this point in time.
Yeah, no, listen. I think most of them
it's hard to keep blaming. It's hard to keep saying that there was no preseason.
Again, I have to take a look and see how many of those teams are established teams with established coaches and quarterbacks. I think the teams with new coaches, new quarterbacks, or both are struggling, and for various reasons, for a very obvious reason, because they didn't have a chance to work.
Look at Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. I'm going to bring it up right now. They're actually doing pretty good. And real quick, I mean, okay, Buffalo, they had their quarterback in place and coaching staff in place. What about the New England Patriots? They're 2-1. They got Cam Newton late, where everybody thought it was going to be the other guy. Pittsburgh got Roethlisberger back, and Baltimore's doing good. Even Cincinnati isn't doing all that bad. They only got a point differential of -8. Burrows put up 66 points. Mm-hmm. Tennessee and Indianapolis are doing okay. Indianapolis has got a new quarterback. And then we can't even bother going over the West, the AFC West. You got the Chiefs and you know, how that all plays
Yeah.
out. NFC East, they all have the same quarterback as they had last year. One team is worse than the other. The whole division's produced 2 wins.
Right, but again, now the Giants and the Cowboys have new coaching staffs. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not that that's an excuse. I'm just saying it's a little understandable when you're bringing in new coaches that you're going to struggle a little bit trying to get your squad together. And if you look at the Bucks, which I think is a good example, you bring in the Colts. You know, the same coaching staffs, good teams, and you brought in veteran quarterbacks. You know, these aren't guys who are, you know, journeymen. I mean, Brady's the greatest of all time, probably, and Rivers has had a good career, probably a Hall of Fame career. So it's a little skewed, but to me, it's the teams with new coaching staffs, like the Panthers, like the Giants, like the Cowboys. I can understand them struggling a little bit because there was no offseason and they gave them 6 or 7 weeks in training camp, which after that was spent not doing anything.
Those teams you mentioned each have subpar quarterbacks too.
Well, I'll say that I'm giving everybody kind of a pass, but yeah, Danny Jones has not played well. So yeah, I have, you know, especially the last game. His first 2 games, he was a good quarterback. The Giants just don't know how to win yet. The Cowboys surprised me because you brought in a real good coach, or was a real good coach, to a team that, you know, was 8-8 last year, and without a miracle, they're 0-3 right now.
Yeah, well, listen. Is what it is.
Yep, absolutely. But guys, week 4 in the NFL starts in about 2 hours. I'm sorry, about 3 hours. So make sure you go back, rewatch the game, get our picks. Jeff's are on the comments. Mine are up on the screen, so you guys can see how that works out. Come back Thursday night. We got Ron Keel, Rafael Esparza, and Matt Salitri coming at you. We'll get a lot of football in, and of course we'll do a lot of music with Ron Keel. And Hard Rocket Sports gets back to normal on Thursday night.
All right, man. Listen, I got to go.
Oh,
I'm at work.
Catch you later, pal.
All right, later, best.
That's Jeff, co-host of the Hard Rock and Sports Show, popped in for 5 minutes. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you come back on next Sunday, October 11th. We'll do this all over again. And, of course, see us on Thursday nights, 6:30 to 9, 7 to 10 on the Hard Rock and Sports Network. Of course, check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and, of course, our website, hardrockandsports.com. for more information on the show. And less guests coming up on the show. Ron Keel next Thursday. Rick Rule from Every Mother's Nightmare. That's the 15th. The 22nd, Ross the Boss checks in with us again. One of our favorite guests. And the 29th, I believe, is Jeff Westlake and Holly from Hydrogen. Good friends over at RFL Records set that up. Got some more guests coming up in November. But, guys, remember to vote November 3rd. We all want our country to stay strong. Make sure you go out there and vote. Well, whatever way you decide to vote, I'm not going to preach to you. Just do yourself a favor, get out and vote, make your voice heard. And I got to say, best wishes to our president and the first lady and all the people affected throughout the country. I hope for a speedy recovery and get back to work, Mr. President. Thank you very much. But again, guys, take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your football if you're watching. If not, go out and have some fun. It's going to be a beautiful day. And we'll see you back here Thursday night on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. Good night. Take care.